All right, Black Goose family, what's good with it? Salute to the people, you know what I'm saying? Salute to the channel. I know it's been a minute since you heard from us. I know we've been kind of MIA a little bit, but don't worry. Let me give y'all an update. First and foremost is tomorrow. We got Lakers versus Houston Rockets playing. I believe that's 8 p.m. Central. That's our time. So if y'all over in the East Coast, I think it starts at 9. If y'all over on the West Coast, that bad boy starts at like 6, something like that, 7 o'clock. We're going to be going live for that. Me and Zen will be going for live for that. So if y'all looking for some new content, especially some new live streams, we're going to be going live for that tomorrow. So make sure y'all join us. Watch that first playoff game. LeBron playing James Harden, Russell Westbrook. I also want to say salute to the family. Y'all go ahead, subscribe, like, comment. We always appreciate the support. You know what I'm saying? We seen y'all showing love even while we have the little hiatus. We see a couple subscribers popping in. So as always, we appreciate that. But let me get to the point because I know some of y'all hate it. One, I don't get to the point right off the top, so let me get to it. Salute, people. So we're going to be talking about Anthony Joshua Pulev. I'm not going too in depth when it comes to this. I'm just really giving y'all some updates, some news, trying to see where y'all mind at, see how y'all feel about it. We got a confirmed date. We got December 12th. Joshua versus Pulev happening at the O2 Arena. Obviously, that's hometown advantage for young Anthony Joshua, but at the same time, is it really? We don't got no fans. I've been telling y'all, man, with no fans, especially when it comes to combat sports, specifically when it comes to boxing, because how fundamentally oriented it is, especially fundamentally based, especially experience based. All that really matters when it comes to boxing. I think having no fans, we're going to see a lot of either upsets or we're going to see a lot of closer fights than we would see if there were fans, because you know, not having the fans dictate the pace, not having the fans be able to dictate certain things like adrenaline rush and things like that, it becomes a glorified sparring match, in my opinion. So for the most part, most of the fights, unless we see two brawlers fighting, we're gonna see like a boxing match, if that makes sense. If you're a boxing head, you know what I'm saying. We're gonna see two dudes really box. You know what I'm saying. We're not gonna see no brawl type shit. We're not gonna see crazy throws, crazy swings. Like, we're gonna see motherfuckers go at it and try to literally set traps and try to dictate the pace, so on and so forth. And that's what we've been seeing so far with most of the boxing matches. That's also why I think there's been such low ratings when it comes to boxing. I'm gonna make another video about that when it comes to ratings, but that's not what this is about. What I want to ask y'all is, how do you think Anthony Joshua is going to perform with there being no fans? You know what I'm saying? Supposedly this is supposed to be hometown advantage, but technically it's not, like I just said, because there's no fans. So how do you think this will play out with Anthony Joshua being forced to box with a more experienced boxer like Pulev? You know what I'm saying? Pulev is a beast. Pulev's only lost to Klitschko. So, you know what I'm saying, with that being said, and you know, some would say it was somewhat a close fight. In my opinion, he got washed in that fight. And a lot of people would say, especially when it came to, if there was fans pre-COVID, Pulev had no chance simply because he was an older guy, right? If you saw his last fight, he definitely did not look the same. But if there's one thing you did notice, is the fundamentals is still there. He sets beautiful traps, he has a beautiful jab, and he still has some of that power, okay? They always say the last thing to go for older fighters is that power, and you can still see that Pulev still has it. So basically what I'm saying and what I'm asking is, with there being no fans and most likely it's becoming such a fundamentally boxing match between the two, do you think Pulev has a better chance at beating Anthony Joshua than he would with fans? You know what I'm saying? That's a big question, because obviously Anthony Joshua is very fundamentally sound too. A lot of people try to say that he looks stiff when he's fighting, but I think he just looks stiff because he's so focused on doing everything right. And when you're not naturally bred into boxing, when you're not doing it since you were young, doing it all the time, you go into it a little bit later. Most times when you're so focused on doing everything fundamentally right, you're going to look stiff. That's why a lot of fighters who get into it a little bit later, they end up kind of having their own style. And a lot of people, especially if you're a boxing head, they'll talk shit about it, saying how this is wrong, their base is wrong, their balance is wrong, they're keeping their hands too low. But that's just because simply it's a comfortability factor, right? It's something where they feel comfortable in their base and their stand to either get hit and hit back, dodge, hit back, move, etc., etc. So that's why a lot of times you'll see, usually you're able to spot a boxer who started a little bit later in comparison to a boxer who's been doing it so long. And so when I look at Anthony Joshua, that's what I see. I don't think he's stiff in any type of way. I just think he's just so focused on keeping everything tight, which are tight. It just doesn't look as natural, because I feel like he's thinking about it, because obviously he hasn't been doing it since he was young. But besides that fact, with that being said, since they're both very fundamentally sound, they're both boxers, you know what I'm saying? like, I don't consider Anthony Joshua a knockout artist, even though he knocks motherfuckers out, but he's very calculated the way he goes about it. So I think it's going to turn into basically a calculated boxing match where they're both going to be going at it in an aspect of setting each other up and looking for that right spot or that right hit, similar to the Povetkin versus Dillian White fight. You saw that Dillian White, he became a boxer in that fight when he was a little bit more so a brawler. Even Anthony Joshua kind of pointed it out himself. He felt like he lost a little something to him and he was trying to do too much boxing. But I think that just comes down to the fact there was no fans, right? There's nothing really to give you that oomph or that push to make you be like, hey, I'm about to go crazy on your ass and I'm about to fuck you up. For the most part, you're going to be a little bit more in your right mind, right? You're not going to blank out and go crazy, which sometimes it seems like Dillian White does and gets a W. Walks through the you know, the dangers of his opponent just so he can finish him off. You're not going to do that without fans there, simply because you're going to be thinking about everything that could happen rather than just going for it, if that makes sense. But ultimately what I'm asking you guys is how you guys think that's going to play out. Are you guys excited for this? I'm kind of going to get in a little bit more about the heavyweight tournament being a little bit of a bamboozle, bullshit put out there in the air, because obviously you see that White versus Povetkin rematch is slated for a certain date. I'm not going to tell y'all yet. I'm making a video about that. So I want to see what your opinion is. But yo, Joshua versus Pulev happened December 12th. And do you think Kubrat Pulev has a better chance of beating Anthony Joshua with there being no fans? And real quick, the undercard, or excuse me, I believe it's the co-main event of that fight, is going to be Lawrence Okalie versus Glowacki. It's going to be for the vacant WBO belt. I think that's going to be a great fight. That's going to be, in my opinion, Lawrence Okalie's toughest fight to this date. Glowacki's no joke. He's only lost to Usyk, so that's going to be a hell of a fight. And I believe, I don't think it was turned as a loss, his fight against Breedis. I think that was as a no contest. I'm not 100% sure because we had the elbows, all that good stuff. But they're going for the vacant WBO belt when it comes to that. So how do you guys feel about that? Do you think Lawrence Okalie is going to come up and he's going to shine? Because supposedly once he gets the belt, he's supposed to be moving to heavyweight at some point. He definitely has a frame for it. But you know, how do you guys feel about that all together? I want to know your opinion. As always, much love to y'all. Stay positive. Fuck everything that has to do with bullshit. And keep subscribing. Keep showing support. You know what I'm saying? Throw some love in the comments. Throw some hate. Whatever it may be. As long as y'all watching, that's all that matters. BG for life. Y'all know what it is.